A library is a collection of information sources, resources, books, and services, and the structure in which it is housed. So it is organized for use and maintained by a public body, an institution, or a private individual. In the more traditional sense, a library is a collection of books. The term can mean the collection, the building that houses such a collection, or both. This is as per the Wikipedia. So, modern society is a society of institutions. So, nowadays we can find so many institutions serving with the different kinds of purposes and objectives to the society, to the individual, or some other purpose they have established, and they are doing their best to give some information or some knowledge to the society. So, in this context, library plays a very important role in the society. Libraries rank among the society's most important and useful cultural institutions. They play a vital role in the world's system of communication and education. So, in this unit, an attempt is made to introduce to you the important role that libraries play in the educational process of formal and non-formal learning, in research and development, etc. So there are some characteristics we can see in the modern society. We are living in a new era in which a highly integrated and self-conscious society is evolving. We call this is a modern society. So ICT and its opportunities from urban to village level activities. See, after the information communication technology developed, so minute to minute and every day by day, it is changing its structure, and the technology is developed in a such a way. Now everyone in the village level, from urban to village level, they are doing their best activities using the ICT. So here the role of library exactly should be changed, and should serve the society in a very vast meaning and in a very challenging manner. Information is a vital role with ICT. So there is no society without library or information, and there is no society or information without society. So each one other they have merged, and color. There is no second option for this. So both they are working. There is no society without library, and without library there is no society. Such kind of integration we can see in the modern society. So the from the early days, as I told you yesterday, the how the information storage was started from the civilization period to till now. You can see from the recording the information in the mud or clay from to the CD level now in the pen drives, and now it is in the cloud level information storages. So these kind of changes from custodian of books to the service oriented information provider nowadays. So from one medium to now it is in a multiple media. From one collection to library without walls. So in the old days, some of the Gurukula system we can see they used to maintain their collection or some kind of reading materials, writing on the palm leaves. They used to kept in a systematic manner there only. So shall we call it as a library? Yes, of course, no problem. We can call them also a library collection also. From that to now it is without walls. Now internet access has made everyone to access the information. Even library also giving such a services using the digital library, or we can say hybrid library. Such a new advancement has taken the place. Yeah, no one has joined, I think. Okay. So in this context, if you see from insourcing to outsourcing, now from local reach to now it is library has become the global reach. We go to the library, now the library comes to you only. So this is the Sabartanam DS transforming libraries to support chance and growth. Networking and future libraries, London. He give this concept, so you can go in detail in your from your text materials. Information society. So it has been often stated that we live in a era of change. Yes, every moment and every day we are witnessing the changes in the society. So just take your mobile phone. So in the first beginning of this mobile phone, a phone we are using the landline to handset, and in the handset how it is changed now. Just we were using keypad, key buttons mobile, the very big size one. Now it is very thin and touch screen. You can see anything in the mobile. This is an example I can say. There are so many examples. In modern society, without information, human cannot move. Yes. Now we are in exact meaning of the information. So without information, we cannot move anything in the society. Information that made the entire society into knowledge society. Factors determining the arrival of information society, the data explosion, the growing information consciousness and information dependency society at a large, and accelerating developments in the computing and communication technologies. So if you look into the different perceptions of a library information society, the technological perception, economic perception, occupational perception, and spatial perception and cultural perceptions. In these categories, you can see the information society. So technological perception. So people want any kind of information in the technological enhancement. For example, many journals are giving such a information and all. Economic persons, a businessman can looking information for his economic growth. The occupational perception people, there are they need information in that perception. So like this, so there is a variety of information need in the society. So knowledge society, the transformation of existing society structures by knowledge as a core resource for economic growth, employment, and as a factor of production constitutes the criteria for designating advanced modern society as a knowledge society. So characteristics of a knowledge society is like this: open and timely access to information and knowledge, the capacity to absorb and interrupt information, and avenues and opportunities to use knowledge and decisions making and for transformation to higher quality lives. Knowledge based society. Now it is. So here in the first unit, you will study all this information. So there is a study materials given. You can go through that. Just have a some information about how library are existed in the society and how society need the information and library serving the societal needs, and how the information has transferred to the knowledge, and what are the areas and the perceptions that society is looking information in their different kinds of views and attitudes. So this is all about the first unit. And there are some trends in the knowledge society: globalization of industrial production based on tremendous speed change, competition, and productions. So competition on the old world based on innovations, cultural changes, traditional frames are replaced by constant choices with a quick impact on cultural and behavioral patterns. The new social tensions between knowledge haves and have nots, tensions between immigrant or born Googlers. So these are some of the trends of the knowledge society you can observe. So next comes, as I told you, the types of libraries. It's a very important unit too. So here we will discuss about the national libraries, academic libraries, public libraries, special libraries, and the digital libraries, virtual libraries, and nowadays it is fast moving hybrid libraries. So let us start with the national libraries. So naturally, when we call it as a national library, it has the information about the one particular nation, about the entire nation and its valuables and related to national interest level. You can just say, you can just observe in the just one sentence you can say. The concept of a national library is a recent development dating back to a few centuries. This development has been a gesture of a socio-economic, cultural, and scientific advancement in the Western industrial advanced nations. Although national libraries existed in the past in some form and many countries. Now you can take Washington, there is a Library of Congress in America. So same, we have our own national library in Calcutta. In, in National Library is a library specially established by the government of a country to serve as the preeminent repository of information for that country. Functions of the National Library: produce a national bibliography, code and keep up to date large representative collection of foreign literatures, including books about the country. So, there are some foreign authors who have written books on our own country. So we can see that such a collections in our national library. So act as a national bibliographic information center. So what are the list of books published in their own country, in our country? So we can get that bibliography list of books, bibliography list of books in the national library. So compile union catalog and publish retrospective bibliographies. The National Library of India, you can, as I told you, it is in Calcutta. So it may be emphasized here that the National Library of India, located in Calcutta, has more than 2.2 million books and other materials. The collection is built through the following means. So books received through Delivery of Books and Newspaper Act 1956. You can see in the liberalization there. There are books, some books may be purchased by gift, by exchange, and other depository privileges. The majority of collection in English and in Indian languages. So if you go to the Western countries, there you will find only one kind of a language. You may find some books related to in their own one language, but here in India we have so many languages. So the National Library of Calcutta has all variety of literature books. Some of the books what we are not getting in our own, but we have the books in National Library in Kannada, Marathi, Gujarat. So these are the many language books are kept in the national libraries. So books and journals on Indian and any language published anywhere in the world. So as when we are collecting materials for the National Library, so it's not mean that only we should collect only publication from our country. There are authors, there are publications. They have published and written books on about India are also seen in the National Library. Indian publication published before 1954 and not available in the library. So that is some restrictions they have maintained there. So books by Indian author published abroad, as I told you. Standard reference works, books on library, documentation and information science and technologies, education, planning, etc. All are kept with the limit budget provision given to them. Next comes academic library. Here you can categorize the academic library again as a school library. Then you go to the college level library, academic library, and university level library. So in the school level, their need of information is one particular aspect related to their these things. And if you come to the college level, the enhancement of service is needed, need to be concentrated much. If you go to the university level, there you will find not only students, there are researchers. They need some more variety of information and good kind of information, and there need to be we should concentrate on different variety of services provided to the university level also like this. So what is academic library? Academic library has been defined as a library which is associated or attached with any educational institution to support its educational programs. Academic library is an integral part of a formal education system which provides time-bound education from primary school level to the university level. School library, college library, and university library. So they have their different kinds of needs in at their level, students. So if you look at the functions of academic library to achieve its objective, college library performs the following functions. Let's start with the college library. It develops collection by acquiring different documents like textbooks, audiovisuals, etc., related to various courses offered by the college. Procures advanced books. Yeah. Procured procure advanced books other than textbooks, develop a habit of advanced studies among the college students. Subscribes useful journals, research bulletins on different subjects as per the recommendation of the faculty, teachers, students. Practice interlibrary loan on demand of its users. This we will study in detail in the resource sharing unit there. So also provides light reading materials like fictions, biographies, magazines, travel books, guides, audiovisuals, etc. to give healthy leisure time to its user. So the academic library also procures general reference books such as dictionaries, directories, encyclopedias, yearbooks, as well as some subjects specific reference books, and the proper classification and cataloging, self-arrangement, display of a new arrivals. Provides orientation training to its new users. Use the library and disseminate information time to time regarding new library services and latest books. Academic library should also conduct some orientation programs and training programs for the students regarding the use of a library, how to get the books and disseminate the information time to time, and library regarding library services. Nowadays, we have a digital library in our colleges also. We have to conduct some orientation program to the students because new admitted students from the school level to the college level, they were not aware about the use of the library. So we have to give training, proper training. We should conduct some training programs to the students. So how the books have been arranged in the library and how they have to search the required books. So how best they can make use of these resources for their study. So this all we should tell the students community. So to make the proper use of the library. School library serves the students, faculty, staff. Their objective is very limited. Okay. So supports the curriculum and objectives of the schools. Collection grade level appropriate. Broad range of topics, but not as broad as in the public library. No in-depth coverage. Okay. So academic library serve students and faculty staff also might serve the community. Collection focuses on the curriculum and research of the institutions. So much more depth in a subject areas, but not a broad coverage of as in the public library we can see. So if you take the example for a medical college, the medical college library focus only on the medical related curriculum and medical related research oriented books and journals publications. They are not about any kind of these things. They have to academic libraries especially maintain the curriculum which they are running, which the course is running there in the institution. They should maintain very good informative and informations to the students and the staff faculty members. So we have a special libraries also. So for example, law libraries, company libraries, medical libraries, museum libraries serve only the organizations of that members. So you can take Indian Institute of Science, Raman Research Institute, BHL, Bharat Heavy Electronic Limited. So many. They have their own research setup there in the research libraries. So they call as a special library. Baba Atomic Research, ISRO, they have their own library setup. These are all very special libraries serving to the special community and a special uh, particular subject. So these are called special libraries. Now comes the public library. So as per the UNESCO Library Manifesto 1949, public library is established under the clear mandate of a law. So we'll study in detail in liberalization. So maintained wholly from public fund. Lives no direct charges. There is no direct charges from the public. They have, as per the library legislation, they have to collect cess from the public. So they have to use that cess only for the public libraries. Open for free and equal, used by all members of the community. So you can, many of you have visited the public libraries. There you can see all books are kept open, irrespective of individuals. You can access books, so whatever books you need, and any kind of books you can read there. So all books are free and equal. So agent for the fostering of a peace and spiritual welfare through the minds of a man and woman. So Dr. S.R. Ranganathan, who is known as a father of a library science. So you'll study him by studying his 5 laws of library science. Later we come to that. A public institution, he said he give the information. Dr. S.R. Ranganathan, a public institution or establishment charged with the care of a collection of books and the duty of making from accessible to those who require the use of them. So as per this definition, if you see, library, the care of a collection of books means protection and preservation of a collection. Make them accessible in a real sense so that the right person can get the right information at the right time. It's a very important thing. When you are educating and you are giving service to the public level at a large, their variety of information need is entirely different. There is a vast information search. Some may come to the library for searching, reading newspapers. So you should see, so what all the local newspapers available, you should get it. And as per the reader's interest, as a librarian, you should study the reader's interest. So these are the things. So we have to observe in the public library. Suppose I request one request to the participants. If the disconnected, you can use that kind of link and reconnect it, because 45 time is running over here. You can rejoin if disconnected. Okay, sure. I'm sure this will not disconnect, but message is coming like this. Okay.
Okay.
So public libraries is called a representative of a democracy. Public library represents the real meaning of a democracy by providing the equal access to all community members without any bias. It enhances the equality and social justice, promotes intellectual freedom and advancement of knowledge, generates in the young generations a sense of purposefulness, dedication, and confidence in themselves and faith in the democracy future. See, such a great institution is the public library, and one day you may all become, if you join the public library, you should always feel proud. You are serving a temple of a democracy. Nothing wrong if you call the public library as a temple of a democracy. So there, all kind of all walks of people will come and read and get the information. As a librarian, your duty is to provide the meaningful information to the needy person there in the library. So there are some functions for the public library: information dissemination center, lifelong learning center, communities intellectual center, recreation center, so communities culture preservation center, instrument of a social change. Yes, of course. If you see, visit the library, public library, there you will see all kind of means from the childs to children's to the age old people in between. Everyone visits to the library. Even the children's used to come. If you go to the any good public library, suppose if you chance to get uh, go to the Chennai, please visit Anna Centenary Library, the 8th floor fully AC automated public library, a very one of the largest public library in Asia. We can around 500 crore budget was spent on building only. So there you have everything, including the meeting room to recreation room and open air theater and all variety of books you will get there. So medical students, engineering students, any kind of for children's, even so you will find literature for the braille literature also there. So audio, video, all music library, everything is set up very systematically in Chennai. So one of the best library we can see in public library Chennai. So as we were discussing about the special libraries, uh, many of these special libraries originated with the learned societies and especially with the great scientific and engineering societies founded during the 19th century to provide specialist materials for their members. As I told you, Indians of Science, Raman Research Institute, BHEL, many other institutions, they are giving best service to the particular category of people. Thus, some special libraries were founded. With the coming industrial revolution arose the need for the working class educated in the technology and industrialist and philanthropist provided facilities and book necessary for technical instructions. Special libraries are attached to officially official institutions such as a government departments, hospitals, and like many other. For the most part, however, they came into being for in order to meet the specific needs in commercial and industrial organizations. Special libraries are planned strictly on practical lines with activities and collections carefully controlled in a size and a scope. So, as in academic library or a public library or any other, you cannot collect information in a vast meaning. So, there your service is very limited to the particular group of members. As per their required limitations, you have to get the collection in the library. So there are some functions and services if you look into the special libraries. Special libraries organize the resources they collect in a way that best suit local needs. Analyze, synthesize, and evaluate the information and data. Provide a critical reviews, reports, and compilations. So later we will study the indexing and abstracting and uh, SDI service, okay, selected dissemination of information, provide abstract as I told you, extracts, perform a literature search and compile bibliographies. There are some databases. They're needed for research purpose only. So you have to get information from the literature search, okay. Disseminate current information and SDI, as I told you, establish a monitoring system for the evaluation of performance. Not only they, like other libraries, they give the information, just they wash it out. No, they have to establish a monitoring system for the evaluation of a performance. What best they give to the readers, that they have to evaluate and give more better and better service to the readers. That's a special library they should do. So next comes the digital libraries. So I think I did not give you the much explanation about the digital library, but here you can say in your mobile also. So digital libraries, you can call it as a digital library nowadays. So the idea of easy fingertips access of information, what we conceptualize as digital libraries today, has its origin uh, in a very advanced information technology. So when computers were connected into large networks, forming the internet, the concept evolved again. And research turned into creating libraries of digital information. So that could be accessed by any one form or anywhere in the world. The fundamental reason of building digital libraries is a belief that they will provide better delivery of information than was possible in the past with the traditional library. Of course, so now the information need in the society is a very urgent requirement. Everyone want immediate information. There is no time to go to the library and search and get the xerox or take the notes. No, they don't have a time. They need information in time in a very fast manner. Everybody wants on a fingertips. If train is coming to the from the next station, where it is exactly. Such a vast things that we are witnessing through the app in the digital library in the handsets nowadays. So even the running status, everything. So in such a manner, we need information. You don't have a time to go to the station master and ask where is the train exactly. Now you have there are applications you can see in your handset only where exactly train, which station has crossed. So in this manner, in the digital library, in the very beginning of the digital library concept, so I also attended one first kind of digital library workshop in Osmania University there, where they give a clear clarity about the how to establish a digital libraries. So by creating some information using some HTML early days in no in those days, building the websites and building the HTML forms by scanning some printed materials. So we should do. We need to establish a library there by scanning the rare collections. I participated in Indians of Science there as when I was a trainee there, Indians of Science. So we were assigned one just one task there, one library project. So used to attend. We were scanning the documents which are published in the 1898, so in the before 1947. So like this, we classified and we used to scan with the big scanners, drum scanners. So we used to convert them from the OCR, then PDF, then uploading the information to the library website.